Okay, can you see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great, that's wonderful. So testing done. With this, we will get started. So I was giving you folks background about this. Uh, those who are already in the session, thank you very much from the bottom of our heart for encouraging us with such huge number of curiosity. I would say rather than just registration. You people were so curious, and we are also doing something on agile leadership at such a large scale for the first time. So as usual, whenever there is a new concept coming out of our scale up, we call it an experiment. Of course, the experiment will go on for a longer period. In this case, there are many experiments here. We are first time doing a webinar or a meetup of this scale. Plus, this is the first public event on agile leadership. So there are quite a few things. So please, already asking for your our apology if we don't live up to your expectations fully, although we have tried our best to come up with the maximum value in the available time to us. And
Yep.
please share your feedback uh, after the session so that we can improve it going further. So the idea of this webinar is now it is a overview of what agile leadership really is about. And we are not going to there is a noise, heavy noise from one person. So the idea of agile leadership that we look at it is totally framework and business domain agnostic.
Vineet,
Agile
can I
leadership
request
has
something? Can you ask everybody to be muted? That will make your presentation easy. And then when we have to ask questions, we'll unmute yourself and ask questions. If you
yeah
can just,
people
that will be
will
a
do
kind
it.
of an agreement. It's kind of an agreement with all of
Working
us.
agreement.
Working
Sure.
agreement.
So friends, you heard a request from our friend. I leave it to you. Please, if you see noise around, please be on mute. But if needed, please speak up as and when you feel comfortable. Okay. So be comfortable, unmute yourself, and keep speaking. Okay. Now it is very good. Because I am not seeing your faces, if I have a question to you, I would request a response vocally. That's the only way to get acknowledged because now right now I'm seeing my presentation. I'm not able to see everyone's faces. So agile leadership is that idea that it is not framework dependent and it is certainly not business dependent. And you will get to know about this in a few minutes from now. My first question to all of you is, are you a leader? Okay. So let's do a quick poll around this. Are you a leader? I am launching a poll on Zoom. You will see that poll on your screen now. Okay, so you have about 1.5 minutes while you fill this, while you submit this poll, you can continue talking to me. Yeah, I already see an absolute majority in the house, it seems, unlike the
Yeah.
Indian parliament. Yeah, we see
It's
that very
fluctuating
nice.
70%, 66, 65. Well, amazing, man.
Okay. So there are options like, yes, I am a leader in my current role. I am on the way to becoming a leader. Okay, I don't think I am a leadership material, so there is no one here.
Very good.
And I don't know if I'm a leader. That's also interesting. So you are doing some role, but you don't know whether you call it a leader role. Okay, okay, fine. So we have 93% people already voted, which is great. I think that is good enough for us to end the poll and share the results. Just have a look at it yourself. Okay. So can you all see the results on your screen? Yeah. Anyone? Thumbs up?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So I'm going to stop sharing. So before we even go further into agile leadership, okay, the first message that we want to give to people is everyone is a leader. Okay, there is absolutely no doubt about it. You don't need a role or a title to actually lead. I again hear some non-relevant noise. Can you be on mute, please? Okay. So leadership is more about your attitude and mindset rather than your qualification, educational qualification or title in your organization or things like that. Okay. The world is going through very tough times currently, and this is where the idea of this webinar also came in. So coronavirus, every day you hear about it, you know, COVID-19. So what I'm going to request you to do is, all of you must have thought something about your future, both at a personal level and at the organizational level, with the teams that you are currently part of. I'm pretty sure about it because this is a discussion no one could have really avoided. Things like what will happen now, ab kya hoga, what will be the, you know, my future, will we have budget? I was talking to Nikita also some time back when this lockdown was announced, scale up was back to zero. All our assignments were cancelled. Okay, and we have absolutely no capability to do online workshops. That was the state on, I'm talking about 21st of March when scale up was back to zero. No capability to do online training, no courses approved for online training, and all the existing corporate clients had said no to the work we were doing. Maybe they were kind enough to not say cancelled, they just said it is postponed indefinitely. That is one way of saying no, it is postponed indefinitely. So this is what happened, and every one of us have gone through this situation. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to create a breakout room for all of you. I'm going to create 10 breakout rooms. You will be in group of 4 to 6. And while I have to stop sharing this, while I do that, you have to discuss about in 5 minutes. Okay, just discuss in your group and see what is your future plan. What after COVID-19? How does life change for you? Have you brought in some change in your personal life, in your professional life? Is that fine? Just think about it in a group of 4 to 6. I'm randomly going to create a breakout room. Please don't mind. Don't complain. You did not give me good partners. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to do that. Let's say we are about 55. I'm going to create 10 breakout rooms automatically, 5 to 6 participants. There you go. You have 4 minutes. Say hello to each other and see, display your leadership capability. The idea is, do you have any vision post COVID-19? What if the lockdown stays for another 1 year? What if schools get permanently closed? Not even online is allowed. I mean, I feel that still we have not been fully impacted. Many things are yet to come. So display that, have a discussion, and let's see what you figure out. So you have total of 5 minutes. After 4 minutes, I will close the breakout room, and then you will have 60 seconds to close your discussion and come to the main room. So there you go. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hey, Vinay.
Yeah.
We are able to hear you.
Okay, carry on, because I was not able to carry on with your discussion. I hope you are comfortable. Okay, you have about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
please.
So, friends, what I was saying is, do you believe that lockdown is ever going to end? I think my personal opinion is that we have to make it a part of our life and see in this new change future wherein we can make more impact.
Give more time and still pursue my all the hobbies. So that's something very good thing which has happened with me due to COVID-19.
Oh, great.
Sorry to that. I don't see every face. I just thought it will be great, but say hello. Quickly come out.
Hey, Vinay.
Hi,
Hey, Vinit.
Hi, Vinay.
Anyways, hello.
Hi.
Sorry. Carry on, please.
Yeah. So
Yes,
for us, actually, Shraddha, as you rightly mentioned, the travel time has.
First of all, I was happy to see that I was happy to get my 3 hours in my hand when I was traveling for 3 hours every day. So that was really good. So yeah, that's kind of a sent from my side.
like yeah, Rajiv, as you said, like, even for me, I've been saving almost 3 hours of my time, which I was spending in traveling. But for me, it's like a mixed situation. I'm happy with the setup where I'm able to give more time to my family, and I'm around with them more time. But somewhere I feel sometimes there is the line between the professional life and the personal life, it gets blurred also. uh, but then yeah, it's a different setting. It took some time to adjust the professional things also. But like they say, this is the new normal now, so uh, yeah, I'm enjoying it as of now.
Okay, so I missed another point, but what we are missing, what I feel, what we are missing is basically the personal connect in our profession.
Elasticity of the human behavior and the human, like, the way of working. So initially, again, in agile we used to say that co-location is the best way to work, and perhaps
Hi, Suvarna. Hi, Kamal. Were you asked to
Hi.
leave the bathroom? Did somebody
No,
throw you out?
no. We
enjoyed the discussion, so
yeah, we enjoyed the discussion. Yes, and me and Kamal were part of one room.
Perfect.
Yeah, repeatedly, yes, my uncle was also there.
So we have about 30 seconds till people join. So what was the key finding? Who has a vision of the future? I'm talking about vision of the future. How are you going to change the world? Anyone? Suvarna, you want to share something?
So what we discuss when it is like, see, at this point of time, I mean, certainly this situation was what COVID situation was there. It was really unpredictable, but within a 3 months of time period, certainly we tried to or adapt this change. But having said that, we still see there will be challenges related to like people going back to the working in silos or self-organizing team. So these kind of a challenges we still see there.
People are,
And
Okay.
hello.
Yeah.
hello.
So that's what I see, what I feel, and probably I think by this end of year it will be going in the same way.
Okay,
Yes.
so hold on, guys. I am not asking about your vision about when it will go away. What I'm asking is, how are you going to change the world after COVID? What is your vision of the life after COVID? Your personal life? Have you thought about a vision? कि ऐसा होगा, ऐसे नहीं होगा. Those kind of things. Yes, we all have, idea. I am also guessing September it will be over, or July end is when we will see.
No.
Blah, blah, blah. I'm saying, how are you changing the world? That is
Vinit,
the question to you.
yeah, Vinit, actually I'll say one thing, like I'll make sure that I maintain the hygiene in my personal life as well as professional life as well. So it's better to be clean and clear. So it's not only your personal life or your physical body, but also in your work. You should maintain the hygiene. Yeah, that's what I learned.
So Vinit,
I'm gonna,
what I'm looking at is slightly like, things are going to be like, what is needed is needed. Okay, it's kind of, you become lean. But when we use the word lean, the immediate word that comes is lean and mean. So I don't want to see in every area of my life that I will become lean and mean, but I want to become see in my every areas of life, and even in organizations, be lean but with a heart of agile, a heart of human.
Okay.
So humanity.
So hold on, I'll have to pause you because it's a large group. See, one is an emotional statement. One is a very clear, crisp vision about the future. Finding a clear opportunity about how we can utilize this also as an opportunity to, change my life. So when COVID thing was announced 2 weeks later, I say, wow, it's a great opportunity. We are now back on our feet and we are already envisaging a lot of things online for classroom. So when I say this, agile leader, this is one tip of the iceberg thing. The mindset of an agile leader is to always find great opportunity in times of crisis. Remember that. You are in the middle of an ocean and you're not sure, you are not able to survive. Still your mindset is, if I survive, how I'm going to change the world, how I'm going to use this as an opportunity. The opportunity does not have to be making money only. The opportunity could be anything. It could be giving back to the community and stuff like that. So let's do one thing, because we have a lot of discussions going forward. We will ask you sometimes, and till that time you can also have your questions typed in the chat box. Is it okay? Because now we are going into some key topics, key concepts. Is that okay with all of you?
Yeah.
I hope it was a good enough warm up for all of you. Okay, this was just a kind of a warm up. So let's go ahead and see what we have here. Agile leadership. Agile leadership is more about attitude than title. And agile leaders operate at 3 levels according to us. One is the intrapersonal level. Okay, don't mind, but this is my favorite. The best leadership is self-leadership. Okay, and we will go a little deeper into what is self-leadership. So your leadership starts with you. If you can't lead yourself to a better future, you can't lead the people around you. You can't lead the organization that you are part of. So the first is self-leadership. Then comes your interpersonal leadership. We talk about relationships. Okay, so how are you going to ensure that your relationships stay intact and you can lead people to greatness? This is the second thing. And the third aspect of this agile leadership is organization leadership, which means how you can take the first step towards transforming your organizations, towards transforming your team. How can you bring about that transformation in this tough time? Agility has always been about surviving in VUCA, and agile leadership is also about transforming your organizations for a different future. Okay? So
we need some disturbance. Can you just hold for a second?
Yeah, requesting all of you to be on mute while we are presenting, please. Yeah, that's okay. This is bound to happen. So you got it? 3 levels of leadership, starting with self-leadership, then relationships leadership. I did not call it community leadership because it's not about community. It's about whom are you interacting with day-to-day basis, and organizational level, which is transformational leadership, how you can move the organization to different levels. So I will now hand over to my friend Deepak, who has been a co-creator of Agile Leadership Masterclass. He will walk us through some of the concepts, and I will join you back later. So Deepak, it's up to you. I hope you are all set.
So good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
The voice is not loud.
Yes.
Yes.
It's fine, right?
Yes, Deepak.
We can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, we
great.
can well.
So thank you, Vineet, for the introduction. And I'm going to touch upon intrapersonal, that is self-leadership, that Vineet has just spoken about. So there are a lot of things in self-leadership, but we are going to just touch upon some of the elements which are extremely important. Now, the first thing, if you ever observed, right, walking into any organization or walking into any leader's cabin, when you ask them a question, what they are doing, they will give you a fantastic answer. And when you ask them a question, how they are doing, you will get even a better answer. But when you ask them why they are doing, then they start giving you many answers. So the point that I'm trying to raise is the focus is so much on how and what, that the why things get lost somewhere. And for an agile leader who is on his journey to become an agile leader, why is extremely important. If you look around the world, look around transformational leaders from Steve Jobs to Mahatma Gandhi to Nelson Mandela and all, they all started with a why. And why they started with a why? Because of the reason that they knew that why, if they can answer the why, then only then people will come and join them for transformation. So for becoming an agile leader is extremely important to start with self-reflection and start with a why. And an agile leader is extremely important. Why is important? Why? Because it gives a key to purpose and values. What is the purpose of life? What are the values that are closer to your heart? So if you are able to recognize your purpose and values and align it with the organization, then you get fantastic results. Are you with me with that?
Agreed.
Excellent. So Vineet, yeah. So the next important part in self leadership is leading by example. So Albert Einstein once famously said that the only way to influence others is to lead by example, and how correct he was. So why now the question comes, why leading by example is so important? The first thing is, when you lead by example, you create a picture of what is important and what other people can see. They can copy, they can emulate you. So it's like an unwritten statement of how to behave and what practices to do in the organization. So it becomes extremely important for that. Now, what are those agile values which an agile leader needs to live as a role model? Authenticity, right? A desired professional ethical behavior. Highest ethical behavior needs to be displayed. Emotional intelligence. Now this is extremely important. EI is something which can always be managed. It is not something which a person is born with. You can always develop EI. Now this is something which is very close to my heart. So I'm not going to talk much about it. But yes, if you can manage your own emotions and you can understand the emotions of others, and most importantly, you can use those emotions for the benefit of the organization. So then you are a great leader. Vineet? Lifelong learning. Obviously, agile organizations are learning organizations, as we all know. And if a leader does not display a learner's character, then probably a learning organization is going to be on his journey. Vineet, okay. One of the most important and something which is very close to my heart, it is about developing people. Agile leaders develop others.
True.
Right? You agree with that? How many of you agree with this? Agile leadership is all about developing others.
It's not just agile, it's a basic leadership.
Yeah, it's
quality.
basic leadership skills.
Yeah.
But when you imbibe agility, when you are being an agile leader, it becomes extremely important for you. And
Yeah.
last but not the least, no micromanagement. Right? Agility is all about small teams working independently and decision unmade then and there. So, yeah. And so we come to the next part, which is self-development. As Vineet has touched upon this, you start with self-development. As we say, charity begins at home. Now, I'll give you an example here. Many years ago in my career, I came across a highly successful professional. He was very good in what he was doing. And over a period of time, he was promoted to a leadership level. Once he moved to a leadership level, he struggled very badly. And within a year, he left the job. So what went wrong, right? He was high in confidence. He was absolutely brilliant. So what went wrong there? The issue that came out was he did not help self-efficacy. Now, self-efficacy is a term which is used for self-confidence, but with context. He was highly self-confident, but he was not self-confident in the context of leading that skill. He did not develop himself. He did not take feedback with the people. He did not focus on his mental upbringing, and he was not learning. And that was the main reason why he had to quit the job, in spite of the fact that he was a great performer earlier on. So leadership development is all about self-development. Vineet, can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah. So we have touched upon intrapersonal self-leadership, some of the elements of that. And now we are going to talk about interpersonal, that is relationships. So you will agree, right? Leadership is all about relationships. It's about building high-performing teams. It's about building networks. It's about building relationships outside the company. So it all depends upon relationship. So now there's a small poll which we are going to conduct. There's a question for you. How many of you think your organizations are being led as human system or as machines? Right? So before you answer this poll, just think for a moment. Just think for a moment and then answer this question. How is your organization currently being run or managed, as a human system or as a machines?
So it's interesting, Deepak. I'm seeing the scores getting updated live. Do you also see that?
Yes, yes, I can see that.
Okay,
64%,
perfect.
63%.
That's fine. Okay. Let's allow 10-15 more seconds.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
still about
49,
10 people.
50, 50, 50, 51.
We should have also got something in between.
As the poll result?
See, that's a secret actually.
Okay, so just a last call. Couple of people are yet to vote. If you want to attend,
5
do
seconds
that.
more.
Otherwise, I'm going to end the poll now. So it's very interesting. It's a
Vineet, can we share this?
Yeah. I'll be interested to hear your views, Deepak. Let's see. There you go.
Yep.
52% here say their
Human system.
organizations are being managed as human systems, and good 38% still say we are running our organizations like machines.
So anybody who has voted for human systems, can you just share just few points? Anybody wants to volunteer? Human system?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Hi,
Jigar,
hi
right?
Deepak. Yeah, Jigar
Hi.
this side.
Hi, Jigar.
Hey, so I voted for human system because I had in question, I had in mind, I was wondering what would be the basic difference, but then I made a couple of assumptions. One
Yes.
thing is that the organization, though it has a routine way of working, so if they pick up some work, then there was a very routine way of working that would look like a machine or a factory. However, I also know that there is a lot of value being put on the human needs. For example, if somebody takes an unplanned leave or somebody has to go away for about a week's time, then basically no questions are asked. It is assumed that of course there would be a need, he or she must be in problems, or help is offered, etc. At the same time, if they want to propose a change in the ways of working, then it is not that nobody has the right to propose any change in the ways of working, etc. So the human beliefs and their values, they are being they are respected in my organization.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Thanks for sharing. And anybody from machine side? Quick. 1 minute. Anybody
when
wants
we
to?
say machine side, then people have to work for certain time limits beyond, including breaks and all, and they have to be productive. They are forced to remain productive across 24/7 situation.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah, simply put, they are just looked at, as a billing makers. That
Yeah.
Excellent answer. Thanks for sharing.
People as resources.
Yes, people like resources.
Absolutely.
I was coming to that.
Absolutely.
I was coming to that. So basically what I meant was organization being managed at human systems or machines. So we have seen for the last 100 years, right? Starting 1911 onwards, with Frederick Taylor coming up with this theory of scientific management. And we are all followers of Henry Gantt, right? We use project management tools. So that is all nothing but, developing organization machines. And yes, it did deliver good results to us over a period of time. The focus was on productivity and efficiency, but what the problem was, the human element was missing, right? So we had those, criteria of having a playbooks and then guidebooks. So for example, if a resource is not available, then we can use a guidebook to have another resource in its place. So that human element was missing. But what is happening now in the last 10, 15 years? The rapid change, right? We are in VUCA world already. So in VUCA, what we need to do, we need to respond to change rapidly, and that only a living organism can do. And that is where organization as human systems are coming into being. So this is a thinking tool, which my friend Vineet has created. We call it the thinking tool, the wheel of high performance, and it has different competencies level. We are trying to classify an organization into different competencies areas, each which works independently, but there is also a connection. So this is one way of representing organization as human system. Now this is what we have done is, this is a horizontal representation of organization human system. There are multiple frameworks available where you can represent organization human system. So this is Agile Chakra. Probably Vineet will throw some more light on this later on, but this is just one representation. Okay, so collaborative communication. So how many of you think leaders only talk?
Myself.
Yeah. And do you think it is important for them to talk?
Not always.
Not always. Great. So if you remember the first and the third values of Agile Manifesto, what is that? The first and the third value. All Agile guys. First value.
People.
Vineet, are you seeing?
Individuals and interactions.
Over process and tools.
And
Working softwares rather than comprehensive.
like
Third one.
Customer collaboration.
Yes.
Comprehensive documentation.
Absolutely. You are right now. So how do you think this can be achieved? What is the means to achieve these two values of Agile Manifesto? The first and the third one. Conversations. Absolutely. Collaborative conversations. So for an Agile leader, collaborative conversations are the greatest tool that you have. And conversation means it is a two-way process. It's not a single-way highway, right? And for an Agile leader, conversation does not mean that he needs to speak, but he can be an initiator. Inside a team, he can always create a scenario where people contribute and they collaborate and they have a conversation. So he can be a facilitator, he can be a coach. So that is one great thing that Agile leader needs to do. So Vineet, can we move to this next slide? Yeah, and two more elements of collaborative conversation: humble inquiry and crucial conversations. So anyone wants to throw some light? What is humble inquiry? What do you understand by that? Humble inquiry? You must be experienced in your life.
Just to know what is happening in with the team member. Are they comfortable to work or not? Or
Yeah,
do
that is
they
one
have
element
any
of that.
challenges?
I think the definition is given downstairs, the gentle art of asking instead of
telling. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great.
That was really smart, Ajju.
That was really smart. And crucial conversation is all about where the stakes are high. So one important element of crucial conversation is to create a environment of psychological safety. When two people or three people talk and they are having crucial conversation, you should always start that we are not here to harm each other. We are here to see what we can be doing about this problem or anything like that. So crucial conversation and humble inquiry are the key elements for collaborative conversation that Agile leaders need. And apart from that, we need storytelling. I can see that. Harnessing the power of great stories. So how many of you feel that what leaders do in town halls and big events, that is interesting to you or that is not interesting you? Yeah.
No, not much interesting.
Not much interesting.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. That why is that?
Because it's always a one-way communication. It's not a healthy communications.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Because town hall is basically for the two-way interaction, but leaders are using it as in one way, just delivering their thoughts and what they are expecting from the people or the employees.
And how they're delivering it through graphs and statistics,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, through graphs, and they just throw the numbers, all good looking
Just throw the number. Defect rate has
You know,
gone down. Profits
and-
have grown up.
Yeah, all bottom lines and things like
Yeah,
that.
bottom
And
lines.
the worst case is the number of questions are limited, so they will basically get the list of questions from people rather than so people may have questions during the town hall as well, so they will not be allowed probably.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's
One more thing what I see is when they are giving out the information, they are really passionate, but their vision and the people who are listening, their vision is not always the same, and
Excellent.
that creates a lot of issues. And if
Agreed.
the people who are actually listening, if they are and who are going to help the leaders create or implement their vision, if they are not on the same page, then it's going to be a problem.
Yep. So they.
Sorry, Deepak, some noise.
There's some noise. Vineet, can you have that mute on for everyone?
I don't know about that feature, but I'm requesting everyone to be on mute. Yeah.
There is
All
a
right.
feature, Vineet, using
Vineet,
which
as
you
a
can
host,
mute
you
all
can
participants
mute
as a
all-
host.
All participants. You can do that, Vineet.
Okay. Did
Any-
that. Let's. So Deepak, I'm unmuting you. Okay.
You are unmuting me?
Yeah.
Once
Okay,
we
guys.
can all unmute ourselves.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's
Let's
fine.
go
Okay.
ahead.
So there are certain limitations with online. That's okay. So thank guys for sharing. Now just imagine, right? Have you ever seen a leader who just walks up into a room and then everyone, he just lightens up the room and people say, oh man, he's here. So he should be coming up with some great stories. Is it not happened many times before?
Yes.
Yes. So as a leader or as an agile leader, it is extremely important for you to learn, how to create and then create such stories for your participants. So storytelling is one of the greatest arts that we can have from our leaders. And because that conveys a lot of information, not exactly in the form of, graphs and statistics and all. So it is a game changer. In my personal life, I've seen how it has changed and how people are great storytellers and how beautifully they convey their thoughts. So storytelling is one of the beautiful arts, and agile leaders or leaders, it doesn't matter what kind of leader you are, you need to cultivate this art of creating stories. And it is a doable thing. It is not something that comes from birth. It is something which you can create over a period of time. So this is what is extremely important for agile leaders as storytellers. And how important is this? We all know about it, right? So Vineet, can we go to the next one?
Okay, Deepak, so shall I take over from here?
Yes, from here onwards, Vineet will take over and we'll talk about organizational transformational. Thank you guys for listening to me, and we'll talk about it later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm just stopping to share for a momentary, just want to see the faces. We are almost at midway of this webinar. So how are you all feeling at this moment? If you're feeling okay, just show a thumbs up.
The Josh is high, sir.
Josh is high.
Amazing, amazing.
Okay, great. So these are only a few things. These are only a few things that we wanted to share with you as part of this webinar. Storytelling, just to summarize, storytelling, collaborative conversation, the art of asking questions to the employees, team members. Then at personal level, are you really learning? These are all, had it been a 2-day workshop, we would ask you to, what was the last time you learned something in your organization? And how did you ensure that your team members also learned along with you? Are you really looking beyond deliverables day to day? Yesterday, a friend of mine called me saying, Vineet, I want to talk to you urgently, as if his house was on fire, not literally. Yeah? Literally. So I, in the middle of my session, messaged him saying, okay, if it is that urgent, I'll talk to you. But I'm in the middle of a session. Then he said, no, it's not that urgent. I'm fine. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And later in the evening, I messaged him back saying, okay, what's going on? Tell me. We will talk tomorrow, but just tell me what's going on. He said, no, the job is very bad. It's very stressful and blah, blah, blah and stuff like that. And I said, okay, tell me about it. I'm listening. Just vent your frustration. He said, last 2 sprints have failed. I hope you are all aware of Scrum and sprints. The last 2 sprints have failed. And I was like, by the way, what does it mean? Can anyone guess? 2 sprints have failed. So it did not make any sense to me, honestly, because failure is a big term in Agile. Nobody fails. Everything is a learning. So I asked him, what do you mean specifically 2 sprints failed? And his response was, we could not meet 100% commitment of delivery. And yeah, I could guess it, but I was wanting to hear from it. And I just replied back saying, but isn't that okay? Isn't that absolutely fine? Does it not, does Scrum not about being variable in your scope? You do your best, even if you do less or if you do more, doesn't matter. As long as you are able to create value and learn from experience. Then I saw him responding very late. He did not respond for the next 20 minutes. He did not. Finally, I asked him, Arey bhai, just take it easy. You just tell me what's going on. By the way, what's your current role? And he said, I am the Scrum Master. Now, does it tell something about the state of organizational agility? See how many anti-patterns you see in this little story of mine. Right? I'm passing a message to just learn storytelling technique. I'm sharing my genuine experience. Now, rather than just telling that Scrum is this and Scrum is not that, I just shared a story with you and it could connect with most of you. I could see nodding heads. That is the power of storytelling. So I'm passing a message also to you and also keeping you engaged. That is how we can use storytelling. So all the self-development and interpersonal development skills that you have, you can now apply in your organizational transformation. Now, agile leaders, this is the most important thing. Yes, all 3 levels are important, You cannot lead your organization to transformation unless you are a self-leader. You cannot, motivate people unless you are a good storyteller or a collaborative conversationist. Now let's look at some of the key aspects as part of your main job as bringing transformation to organizations. Is there any question at this point?
So Vineet?
Yeah, Jigar. Yeah, Jigar.
Yeah. The books and the references that we see on the slides during the presentation, are they in a way the recommendations from your side to say that if we want to develop those expertise, those are what you recommend?
So, Jigar, to answer you, there are lots and lots of stuff available. Okay? And trust me, all of these talk about the same stuff. Talk to people, listen to them, give them the platform. So active listening, asking them questions. Like if you talk about coaching also, coaching conversations are also same. Coaching conversations are also about listening and asking questions. So what I understand from all this is ultimately the concept remains the same across all this. We have pointed out just two of key concepts, the books, Humble Inquiry and Crucial Conversation, because honestly, people who learn from us, they want a clear guidance, saying, okay, we need to tell us a couple of books that we read and we are covered. So for that reason, we included just these two. But there are many, Jigar. There is non-violent communication. There are quite a few about conversations that talk about basically the same thing.
Okay, thanks, Vineet.
Okay, yeah, but Humble Inquiry is just that it's very popular. There is also a concept, influencing without influencing. There is this concept, So all these basically talk about two things: listen actively to the people, okay? Ask them powerful, relevant questions from time to time, and let them figure out. Get out of the way as a leader. Don't just look over their shoulder all the time. Kya kar raha hai ye? Tik kiya, nahi kiya? Trust your people. Just have a conversation and get out of the way. That's all.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'll move ahead and let me share my screen once more, and then we will stop only at the end, and then we'll take more questions. Okay, going forward. Now, touching upon the organizational transformation, organization side of things, basically, you have to bring transformation to the organization. Now, how about this? Change versus transformation. Are they same or different?
$1 million question.
They are different. These are different.
I think when you transform, you change, basically.
Okay. When you transform, you change.
You change. Okay.
Okay.
So,
let me
example.
One example.
Yeah, one example. Okay, go ahead.
One at a time, please.
Yeah.
Okay,
Example
so-
I can see is butterfly.
Oh,
So I will request you to park. Everyone, please be silent. Let's complete this poll and then we'll discuss further. Okay. Again, this is a little longer poll. So you will have I'll give you more time. Let's see. So you have about 6 questions. These are examples of change versus transformation. So just fill it and let's see how it goes.
so the poll has been opened. You can please start responding.
So from a bank to a technology company.
People are taking time, Vineet.
No problem. Let them take time.
Yeah. It's good. I mean,
I see first set of responses coming in. That's great.
great.
Papa,
Great.
पापा इसमें पानी भर सकते हो मम्मी के लिए इसमें
This is a transformation.
Really a transformation.
पापा भर सकते हो क्या
Because it requires.
हाँ भर सकते हैं.
As it requires.
Okay. About 50% have voted, requesting the other 50% to please vote. Just try, let's see.
64, 65.
अरे रख सकते हो आप उसमें खेल वाले में आपको खेल वाले में रखने की जरूरत नहीं है क्या बॉटल ही रख
ये भी रख Okay, last 20 seconds and I'll close the poll. I will end the poll. Yes, let's see the remaining people. Please try. Okay, so there you go. I'm ending the poll right now and I'm sharing the results.
Okay, interesting
So
results.
if you see, interesting, yeah. So
Yes.
there is still some confusion. From a bank to a technology company, you see 40-60. Leadership needs to be more accommodating. Again, 50-50.
Yeah.
But, in our organization, all leaders are servant leaders. Transformation. This looks clear.
This is pretty good. Yep.
Yeah. All responses to be faster.
Need to be faster.
Again, pretty close. So the point I'm trying to make is, if you see, there's we need greater presence. It's a change, and we are social media. Again, if you see, it's a hung verdict. We are not sure as a group. We are not sure. So change is something like I would say, smaller change, time-bound change, predictable change that you want to bring in. Transformation is very unpredictable change. I'll give you an example of a personal case. Okay. Let's look at a couple of slides. Now, this is change. Okay. And this is transformation.
Anybody wants to share?
So let me give a couple of examples. If you are renovating your house, is it a change or a transformation?
Transformation.
Change.
You are renovating your house.
Change.
It will be change.
Change.
It should be change.
If you are migrating to a new city,
Change.
It will be migration.
Transformation.
Change.
Transformation.
Okay. So hold on. Let me ask you this question. When you are renovating your house, are you more certain or less certain?
More certain.
You're pretty much certain, right? I mean, I know there is always going to be some uncertainty. Ki carpenter nahi aaya, so I'm not talking about that. You can plan it well. You can put up a budget. You can control it well. Okay. And you can decide the kind of outcome you need as part of your furniture. Change. Predictable is change. But when you move to a city, you don't know what will happen to you, whether the weather will suit you, whether your children will love the city environment. If you are with your parents, will the parents like the place or not? There is a lot of uncertainty. You have to get the people together. It's not about ensuring that ghar ka ration aa raha hai and you are done. As a leader, you have to ensure the emotional aspects are also taken care. This is a transformation. And if you are able to migrate to the city with your entire family, you have done a great job. And by the way, you will never know. You will never know when the transformation has happened, because transformation is considered to be an everlasting journey.
Yes.
So let me give you an example from our agile context. Okay. Give us example of, okay. Somebody who wants to say, just raise your hand. I will try to see. Give me one example of an agile change in your organization. Raise your hand. I'm just trying to toggle. Please put it on chat that I want to answer. Because it's free, I can't say. If somebody wants to answer, I want just one person. Anyone wants to answer? One example of a change, agile change in your organization. Please type your name, type on the chat that you want to answer.
I've seen one. Yeah, one name is there.
I don't see. On the chat, I want to. Okay, Ritik. Yeah, Ritik, please come forward. Ritik Dudiwala. Yeah, please.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Ritik. You have to be on video, my friend. You are not allowed to speak if you are not on video. Sorry.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Yes.
So the classic example is like traditional manager roles are dying, and it has been replaced by scrum masters, and traditional managers were like like typical team lead kind of thing. This is the target you have to achieve.
Can you be on video, Ritik, please? I don't see you. I'm not sure if others. I'm seeing your picture.
Zoom is unable to detect a camera.
Okay, no problem. Carry on.
Okay, thank you. So, so now the traditional manager title has remained just title, but actual role it's no more significant, because of this is something where the traditional companies have transformed towards agile.
Okay.
That's the
So
one example. Yeah.
Great. I'm going to pass you. I will take one more example. So let me again check the chat window. Anyone else wants to take the example of an agile change in your organization? I'll refer this example, Ritik. Thank you. Bring a great example, moving people from project manager role to, yeah, Abhishek Shinde. Can you come forward, please? And you have to be on video. This time I'll not allow you if you're not on video. Abhishek, please.
Voice is not there.
Yeah, it's Priyanka Shinde. It's not Abhishek Shinde. So I forgot to change
you
the name.
You logged in with a different name. Okay, Priyanka, tell me.
Okay, the biggest change that we could see is information radiators, which were never there before when we were doing the traditional type of project management. So I guess that is one of the change that
So
I can.
bringing in some process change, information radiator, perfect,
Yes.
perfect. Okay,
Thank you.
now I will take one more example. Thank you, Priyanka, for sharing. Thank you, Ritik, for sharing. Supradeep, now come forward, please. This will be the last experience sharing for now. Supradeep.
Hi, Vineet. After a long time. Okay. So what? So what I feel is that in our practice there are more and more collaboration happening. Bi-weekly, there were connect between all the people in the practice, and where we need to share our thoughts on agile, our learnings on agile, and also share our thoughts on the current project, how we can improve. So more and more collaboration is happening across all the people in our practice, and also we are trying to involve.
Is it a change or a transformation?
I will say transformation, because change means previously when there was invite there are less people. Now since the thought has gone that we need to collaborate more, so presence has also become very heavy.
Okay.
So I think transformation, I feel there is a transformation coming in steps within all the people in there.
Okay. So let us come back to these points. These are amazing points you have brought in. Changes which were supposed to be managed like a change are being handled as transformation, and changes which were supposed to be looked at as transformation are being handled as change. Let me take the example of Ritik. Ritik's first example, migrating traditional project managers to the role of an agile coach. Correct?
Yeah.
Is it a predictable change? Will you all respond equally when you are moving from a project manager to a agile coach? Or will the response be different based on people's personalities? What do you think?
Will be different.
Will be different. Your interest, your capabilities. But then our organizations roll out agility, saying, okay, we have a vision 2020, all project managers will become agile coaches. And I've seen people leaving the organization. So moving people from a traditional role to a agile role is a transformation, and not everyone can digest that. But we are running that as a change management, saying you have 3 months, go and change yourself. Something like that, which is not the case. On the contrary, if I have to ask you, we have 10 projects which have been identified to be done using Scrum. In the next 3 months, we will have to roll out Scrum in those 10 projects. Rolling out Scrum in those 10 projects, is it change or a transformation?
Change.
Rolling out is change.
Rolling out. But then in many cases, people brag about, oh, we implemented Scrum in 10 projects and we are now transformed to Agile. Okay, now, rolling out a Scrum or a framework or DevOps practices is change. But as Supradeep said, bringing in collaboration, bringing in collaborative mindset is a transformation. I am again going to share a screen. This is something that I am coming up with. I am not yet done with the final releasable version of this simple picture. Now, this is my interpretation. Organizations go through change at 6 levels, according to me. From your purpose vision to what is the identity of your organization, what is the core values and beliefs of the organization, what are the core capabilities of the organization. Then comes what are the practices and processes, and then the last comes systems and infrastructure. This, according to me, is the 6th level of change which an organization can go through. Can you tell me till what levels type on the window, which of this is a transformation? Type on the chat window, please. Don't speak out. Please type on the chat window which of these levels changes are actually transformations. Between 1 to 6. Please type on the chat window. I am watching. 3 is a transformation. Okay. Then 5 is transformation. 35. Sorry. Okay, I know it's a typo. 1 and 4 are transformation. 3 is transformation. What about 6? Okay, you see him 3 and 4. So you see different people responding different. No one out of this. Okay, Shraddha is saying none of this is a transformation. Okay. Okay, transformation. 5 is transformation, practice and process. Okay, hold on. That's great responses. Thank you for participating. I'll move ahead now. Now, this is my interpretation. When it is about changing a practice or a process or a system or infrastructure, you know, changing the cubicles or bringing information radiators, implementing Scrum or some HR policy changes, these are all part of adoption. Transformation is now talk about things which are less tangible. Capabilities, core beliefs and values. What is our identity? What do we stand for? What is our purpose? How are we changing the world? This is where agile transformation is. Unfortunately, the fifth layer, changing the process, is looked at transformation. And that is a problem in many agile transformations, that they are transforming forever, but they still don't achieve that outcome expected out of agility. Okay. So this is a thought which has gone apart from Agile Chakra. This is a paper I've been working on forever since I still feel there is an improvement on this paper. I'll someday release it publicly. So it's a very simple interpretation when it is about changing capabilities, human behavior, core beliefs and value system, your core identity. What do you stand for? What is the purpose and vision of the companies? These 4 layers are more transformation, and this is the layer where you need leadership. You need storytelling. You need people to allow collaborative conversations. You need leaders who are continuously learning. This part, practices, process, systems and infrastructure, this is something you can copy from other organizations. You know, Agile, you can copy a practice, you can copy a process, you can copy the infrastructure of another company. This is adoption. You can just copy paste a framework into your way of working. This is adoption. Okay. But then remember, agility is more about this, not about this. It's even our first value says it's all about individuals and interactions over processes and tools. So real agile change is agile transformation, and agile transformation can only happen when you have leaders standing on the floor. Only it's the leaders. Now, how do leaders bring about transformation? Can anyone share? One example, again, type on the chat box that I want to share. How can leaders bring about transformation? Just one example, based on what we have learned today also. Just one example of, let me share my example. I had to move my family from Nagaland to Pune. This was a huge transformation for our family. We have been living in Nagaland for many, many years. We had no support in Pune. But how did I ensure that this transformation gets started? This is a similar example in your organization. What? Yeah, somebody was saying?
Yes. With the change of mindset, first you need to ensure your family members are agreeing with your vision to migrate from Nagaland to Mumbai. So
they won't agree that easily, my friend. That is the problem.
Making their mind.
Yeah, it's changing their mind. No, won't. Can you imagine my parents, 60 plus, they've stayed in Nagaland with a society, you know, from home to temple, if they walk, they meet hundreds of people. From that kind of society, how can somebody come and live in a boring city like Pune, where you hardly see people talking to each other? I'm boring in a relative sense. I'm saying boring for them, because in our hometown, if I go there, within 1 hour, I'll see 50 people coming and visit me. You know, that is the lifestyle we've had. It's not an easy change. Just telling that Pune mein aisa hoga. Okay. So now, how did I inspire them to even agree to my decision to transform? That's my question. Role model will come into play when, reason and purpose. You know what? I used a very simple technique. It was touching their heart emotionally also. I said, what about the future of our children? You have seen us suffering. What is the potential here? Right? Mine was a classic example that I had to struggle. Now, leading from the future, in the current scenario stand, and make people visualize the future. That, okay, if I go there, what can happen? Are you getting my point here? Making people visualize the benefits of the future is the first step towards bringing transformation. Unless leadership sees the future, they will not be able to tell the people that what they can benefit out of it. From standing in the current position, you cannot bring in the change. You have to stand in the future. And this concept is precisely what is called as leading from the future. Okay, this is an approach where you envision breakthrough opportunities and then try your people get motivated. Let me give a Hindi movie example of leading from the future, if you're fine. Do you want to hear a movie story? It's one of the best movies ever produced in Hindi cinema.
Why not? Why not? Absolutely.
Yeah. How many of you seen the movie Lagan?
I have. Yes.
Yeah, it was very popular, right? I have watched it 10 times. Did Amir Khan or Bhuvan in that movie use this technique of leading from the future to inspire the people into playing?
Yes.
Remember that scene when he says, हार गए तो anyway we are gone, पर अगर हम जीत गए तो 3 साल तक हमें लगाम नहीं देना होगा. And then the people start saying, तो हमारे बच्चे खुश रहेंगे, हमें अच्छा खाने को मिलेगा. See, envisioning the future is when people just came to support him. Just see, great example. By Dhirubhai Ambani's classic example, he made the investors envision the future. बनना चाहते हो हिंदुस्तान की सबसे बड़ी कंपनी. Do you want to touch every Indian's life? See, right, how all leaders have inspired the transformation. If you can make the people see the future, first you have to see the future, by the way. That's why you just can't make up that vision. You have to see that future and then inspire the people into that future. That is one of the first steps you can bring about that transformation. Got my point? Are you all able to connect?
Yes, sure.
What we generally see in our organization is a PowerPoint presentation by one so-called leader with a clear-cut 2 years plan of rolling out some XYZ 4-letter word framework, saying in 2 years we will be rolling out this framework into 2,000 projects, 2,000 people. And you know, they transform in 2 years without any idea of what the future will look like. It's amazing, right? How that is not the leadership, my friends. That's not agile leadership. Okay, it is not just about rolling out framework. Okay, are you with me? This concept is called leading from the future. An agile leader must have a vision of the company as part of what will be the future state. So are you with me so far?
Yes.
Now coming to one last thing, then you have a big activity to do, is transformational leadership. How many of you have heard this concept of transformational leadership? Just type on the chat box saying, yes, I have. Or maybe somebody who has never heard about transformational leaders, please type, I have never heard about it. Yes, yes, I see quite a few yeses. Jui, Nehal,
No's
Abhishek,
also.
Rohit. Okay, no is also there. Shravat Reddy. Okay, no problem.
One said no.
Okay, there is
One
also
more
from
no.
Sanal. Yeah, I see. Very nice. All of you are. Yeah, that's okay.
Heard, not seen.
That's
Manmeet
interesting,
says.
Manmeet. Thank you,
Very
Manmeet.
excited. Yep.
Okay, Yogesh also says no. Okay. Okay, so for those who have, so let's stop here. For those who have said yes, they have heard about transformational leadership. I would request them, if you know a popular figure who has been a transformational leader, just look at the screen that I have shared. You know, what are the 4 things? Work towards a noble vision, act with authenticity and honesty, adopt a growth mindset, and promote creativity and new ideas. Okay. Now, this is about changing organization, not changing individual. Transformational leadership is about changing organization. So, Ritik, your example of Rajiv Gandhi from pilot to PM is not changing the organization. Somebody, okay, Nehal is saying, I would take your name. Thank you, Nehal. We'll discuss it offline. Okay.
That's
Very
interesting.
nice. Okay. APJ, Narendra
Yes,
Modi,
Nelson Mandela, JRD.
JRD Tata. Yeah.
These are the right
all-
examples.
if you see, let's say, so I am not from any political party, but am I allowed to express my views here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, again, I have seen some people not liking it. That has been one of the biggest problems in India, that we don't discuss openly. When we discuss critical issues, it becomes personal. So now I started asking for permission in the class. So when you heard that speech of our Prime Minister on Atmanirbharta, I see the whole of the world making fun about it, right? I see lots of jokes being circulated on WhatsApp saying Atmanirbhar, Atmanirbhar, and see, there are many research going on, and the way I look at it, when in this situation, this is a crisis situation, when the whole world is struggling, there is a leader who is giving us a vision of the future. Just think for a moment. It's very easy. So this is also one great example, just like Bhuvan of Lagan, when the entire village was against him, that leader stood up, gave the vision, saying, at least go for it, my friend. Otherwise, we will never be able to do that. Okay, Mahatma Gandhi also one of the examples. So you give the vision of the future and then do a transformational style of leadership. You need to bring in that transformation, which has to be radical. It's not just about, giving data about, yes, I understand there are lots of suffering we are going through, but from this crisis, how you all can lead your life, your people's life, and also your organization's life into a great opportunity. That's what agile leadership is all about. So are you getting the point? The transformation leadership is again about that. Okay, any question?
Hey, Vineet, Rohit here.
Yeah,
Just
Rohit,
one thing, right?
yeah.
Hey, so you spoke about movie Lagan, right? So there's another movie, Swdesh, right? Now there, the person SRK, he never experienced, okay, but emotional intelligence, right? He had emotions, and one fine day he made up mind and he came back to India and he wanted to do some transformation of change, right? So how do you see? Is that it's like adoption, because he's trying to adopt something, right? But he has never experienced it. But emotionally, he was attached. That's emotional intelligence.
Being emotional does not mean emotional intelligence. Okay, so let's keep that aside. Everyone is emotional. Every human being is emotional, but only a few are emotionally intelligent. Okay, so that's absolutely all right. If you have emotional intelligence, then you can handle relationships very well. That's all. Otherwise, there's nothing wrong in having emotions. I have seen Swdesh only once, but I remember vaguely a part in Swdesh where it was about providing a vision, especially that conversation about I will work in ISRO, something like that. I remember from NASA to ISRO. See, that is where our country also lacks. There are no leaders who are ready to give us vision of our country. You got my point? Yes. All we know from childhood is, okay, graduate, go to America. Graduate, go abroad, rather than thinking about what we can do. Because even at our home, we don't have that leadership. That is, I mean, in my case, that was always the case. I was against going abroad, but my family, everyone wanted ki nahi yaar, bahar chal ja, achha hoga. And that's where we say we need to have transformation leadership about making our lives better, about giving us a future. Is it fine? So I'm not sure. So maybe there are a couple of scenes in the movie which is indirectly reflecting how do we bring about that transformation. Is that okay? So
so it was an experience, right? One, like in Lagan, they experienced the pain, they had vision, right? But no, in Swdesh it was opposite, it's otherwise, right?
No, so doesn't have to be pain. Doesn't have to be pain. It does not always have to be started with a pain. So that's okay. It could be any trigger. So many people just, because of meditation and mindfulness, maybe sometimes people see a vision in their dreams also, honestly speaking. There have been many people who sleep one day, they see something, and next day they get up with a new vision. It has happened personally with me also, my dear friend. Without any life-changing events, I saw a different vision. So there are many times people get, this vision about the future from many sources, maybe through a movie, maybe through a conversation with a friend, or maybe through a life-changing event that happened with you. But then your transformation leadership starts when you are able to provide that vision to the people. Got my point? You must be a role model. You must lead with authenticity in that case. Now take an example of your organization. We are just merely doing Scrum adoption and safe adoption. And information radiators and sticky notes This is the language we say. And you know, there is one more funny story. I was talking to people saying, okay, are you agile? Tell me about it. You know what was the answer I got? Yeah, we use user stories to write requirements. So we are agile. And this is true. I mean, still I have such conversations. People, even leaders, don't talk about future when they are agile. They only are stuck at changing the process. And transformation leaders is about changing your identity from a banking company to a technology company, those kind of things. Classic example is Azim Premji. Azim Premji, have you heard?
Yep.
Yes.
How did he transform Wipro? What was Wipro originally? Who can tell me the full form of Wipro? Who can tell me full form of Wipro? Wipro is a short name. Wipro is not one word. Western India Product, and its original name was Western India Vegetable Product. Wipro used to sell dalda ghee kind of elements. Wipro was into FMCG. Still there are soaps and hand washes of Wipro that you have, by the way. Santoor soap is from Wipro. Lights and all. So Wipro was that company. Azim Premji transformed it. Did you see? He had a vision. Many people say, what did Azim Premji do to transform Wipro, man? It was the other CEO. But what I'm saying is, boss, this guy brought in the vision in the organization. He could have failed. How many chances? I mean, were there chances that, theoretically, would Amir Khan and his team lost the match in Lagan? Was there a possibility?
Yes.
What do you think?
Yes, why not? Yes, yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so that is where you have to take the chance. Our whole Atmanirbharta campaign can really fail. I hope it doesn't. But then, unfortunately or fortunately, that is the leadership of the future. You got my point? To transform your organization, you need to be inspire people, touch their heart, and then people will follow you wholeheartedly. Is it making some sense? So these are all, every topic that we have seen today is a huge subject. You can go deep into that and figure out we are not mechanical leaders, my friends. Agile leadership is not managing projects. Agile leadership is leading people, giving them an inspiring vision of the future and taking from there. So just to summarize, your agile leadership starts from what level?
Self.
We saw 3 levels, right?
Self.
So
Yeah. Self.
Yeah, everyone, please.
Self.
Self level.
Self. So it starts with self. Okay, keep learning.
Intra.
Be a role model, everything. Then interpersonal, which is about how do you deal with people, your storytelling ideas, your collaborative conversations, your self-efficacy, keeping on all these things. Self-efficacy is first. And then comes your all these skills you apply in your organization level.
Organizations.
Okay. So I know we had to do a lot. We did a still good job. Still 13 minutes are remaining. I'll be okay to stay after 5:30 if somebody wants to have other conversations also. But this 13 minutes, I'll be happy to take questions. The only request is same thing. Please put it on chat that you have a question, and I'll be happy to take your question. Ajinkya, you started. I saw you luckily, so you can ask your question.
Yeah. So Vinit, the first slide that we saw in this leadership, it was the first self, then the relations, and the organization. But are these stages of the leaders, or it is going into the circles?
Na Baba, it's going into circle. Ye chalta rahega. Okay. So all I'm saying is, out of these 3, you, yourself, relationship second, and organization, which you can control the most easily?
Self.
Start with that. Okay. Start with that, but then it doesn't mean कि नहीं 1 महीना मैं self leadership पे काम करूँगा, उसके बाद relation, ऐसा नहीं है. You start with yourself. You become a role model. Maybe you can start inspiring a few people, work on your collaborative skills and all, then go into your, and then it will be a loop. Continuously, you have to keep learning all the 3 areas. Does that answer your question, Ajju?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why we never showed it as 3 steps. Okay. It's always like in circle. Okay. I'll be happy to take next. Let me check my chat window. Okay. So Deepak says there was an activity. We are skipping that because we just have 10 minutes. We'll rather talk about it. Okay. Anyone else has any questions? Please come forward. This is my exam. If you have,
Vinit, I have a question. Priyanka here.
yeah, Priyanka, tell me.
Okay. So my question is, I mean, throughout the conversation, we are talking about collaboration, conversations and everything. But in today's scenario, when we are sitting like this, because previously we were on the floor, it was easier to know the people. It was easier to talk. It is easier to come to know through the behavior, or maybe because you see person. But nowadays with this work from home thing, and basically from the new challenges that we are facing, what is the things that you will suggest that this is how it should work? I mean, I think these are all okay.
Priyanka, please don't mind. I'm going to ask you a counter question. Please be on video because I want to see your expression.
Yes, please.
And it's for everyone. Just think, don't answer, but Priyanka, you can answer. Maybe I will be wrong. I'm guessing an answer. With this COVID situation, did you come closer to your family across the world?
Yes. Maybe you got to or reprioritize your things, that what is the most important thing that we come to know.
The way you spoke, I remember before COVID, we only used to have phone calls, one-on-one. But with COVID, people came up with ideas. We used to play Tambola every day. We used to have video calls. Okay, we used to share with others many stories. That is the thing. Human beings are great. They will figure out. Priyanka, let me give you my example also. You know me very well. I have never delivered online workshop before March. Would you agree? In fact, to me, honestly, I hated it. I used to say to my friends, saying, "यार कैसे करते हैं लोग online? मुझे तो मजा ही नहीं आता. मुझे तो classroom में ही मजा आता." I used to lose a lot of business. But because of the crisis situation, I delivered. This is my 4th Agile coaching certification batch already. You won't believe, Priyanka. After the first batch, all the 3 batches, I have got my best rating ever.
Okay.
We were able to connect so well. So that's why I realized that so things like hygiene factor. Now, please don't mind those who are not on video. You have to have video on when you are working remotely. I cannot be talking to black screen. You got my point? So here it is okay. But in my workshop, I made it a rule saying, if you are not on video, I'm sorry, I will not certify you. It's your choice whether you want to join my class. I'm a little harsh here, but some rules have to change for people to understand how to work in remote. Now, in my coaching engagement, what we do is just like in offices, in physical offices, we usually work and we have 30 minutes for tea, coffee break together.
Exactly.
Do you, yeah, we do it virtually. We do it virtually. We call it virtual cafe.
Okay.
You got my point? कि चलो भैया 3 से 4:30 काम छोड़ो, चाय पीते, गप्पा मारते, and one rule: nobody will talk about COVID.
Okay.
Talk about any rubbish. We are fine. So all I'm trying to say, Priyanka, is yes, it is a change. We have to be creative in our approach, saying, how do I connect with people? That's it, and you will get the answer.
Okay. Thanks.
Do you agree?
Yes, agree.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And whatever tools I'm saying, don't follow it blindly. Figure out what will work best in your case.
Sure. Thanks, Vinit. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Any more questions?
Vinit.
I don't know who is this.
Yeah, Jigar here, Vinit.
Yeah, Jigar. Yeah,
Vinit. So I wanted to ask. So what the everything that was covered today, is it like a summary or some peek into the certification that we are going to start?
There is
Agile
much
leadership?
more. There is much more in certification. There is a lot of activity based. This is a webinar where maybe 30% you were involved, although we were pretty much interacting. But workshop is a different experience. There is a lot of deep dive into, like storytelling we have just discussed. But in the workshop, we actually come out with ways how to tell a good story. We practice it. You got my point? Humble inquiry, we just looked for two minutes. But in workshop, we go deep dive into what is humble inquiry and we practice it. There are activities which says, okay, now how are you going to implement in your organization? What are the role plays? Plus, in terms of topics, I would say this is only
20%.
25% of 25% of the topic. We just wanted to have lightweight webinar, okay? Because when we were doing demo for each other, for many of us, our friend Deepak wrote many times in the trainer manual also that this activity can be life changing for people. Some people can have even tears in their eyes.
Yep.
You know what? Just to tell you, Jigar, one of the activities as part of knowing your purpose and value is write your obituary.
Yes.
In the class, I'm going to make you participants write your obituary. How would you like to be remembered as a person? You know, some people. I mean, this has happened with me once in Wipro, and then this guy is saying, "You guys are not qualified to lead this organization. You are here just for a job, nothing else." So, workshop is a different experience, Jigar, wherein we make people actually go next level of learning. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So this was just 1.5 hours. We hardly started, my friend. You can see the passion that we have about leadership is great. I think leadership is the future. If we do not have great leaders now, not just at organization level, even at country level, we are headed for doom. That's what I see. We need really inspiring leaders who can, make us do great things or believe in ourselves.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe we have to move to someone else. Any more questions, please? Jigar, did I answer you, by the way?
Yes. Thanks. Workshop is for 20 hours, right? I believe.
So we are planning to start with 15 hours. Okay. And we will be very agile. Even for the first batch, I have kept 2 days buffered. If people are interested, as I say, first people are always, close to the heart. We'll be flexible enough to add more sessions, just cover in more length, and we will learn from that experience and then devise the future. So at this point, we are thinking about 4 online sessions of 4 to 5 hours each.
All right.
But we will see. Okay. Anyone else has any question on today's topic? Or I'm going to ask people, just like I do in my workshop.
When is the first batch getting started?
I guess it's Mithul. Yeah, it's 23rd of July, by the way. 23rd to 26th. So by the way, many people, just to clarify, this was the first idea to launch a webinar because we were preparing a lot and our accreditation was getting delayed. So we thought, let's go to people. And this webinar was launched way ahead before we even got accreditation. It's just a coincidence that this week we got the accreditation as well, and now we are talking about it. You got my point, Mithul? In fact, this webinar was supposed to be held on 6th of June. Okay, and there was no plan to come up with our course at that point. Our course got accredited only on 16th. It's just that this webinar also got postponed and we are here. So our first batch is in July, and definitely we are going to support our alumni, and we hope that some of you are willingly joining. It will give us opportunity to experiment also.
Just one question, Vinit. When you mentioned it will be 4 days workshop for 3 to 4 hours in a day.
4 to 5 hours. Yeah.
4 to 5 hours. So it will be in the first half, or it depends on the flexibility.
So what we are doing is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Thursday, Friday will definitely be evening IST hours after work, assuming let's say 6:30 to 9:30. Saturday, Sunday we will collaboratively decide what is it. So Saturday, Sunday can be a little longer, maybe 5 hours each. Thursday, Friday can be 3.5 hours.
Okay. So can't we make it two consecutive weekends, Saturday, Sunday?
Thank you for the suggestion.
Yes,
we will explore. People find it difficult to find time slots in different days. That's all. But I will experiment. Maybe next batch we will launch that.
Your voice is not there. Yeah.
I'm sure when it's offering from your end, people will bring the time. Not to worry.
So let's see. I will share my plans with all of you, definitely, who attended this webinar in general. But any question related to the topic first? Let's see what you learned related to agile leadership. I'll be happy to take other questions also later.
I just okay.
Just allow me. Deepak, can you take your questions, please?
Yeah. So how many of you still feel that leadership is something which can be cultivated?
Definitely.
Leadership skills.
I am the first.
Great. Anybody who thinks you are born leaders?
No, I am again the first.
So you agree to that or you do not agree to that?
I agree to that.
Born leaders, is it?
Born leadership.
No one is born leader. It's about their environment and their experience makes them a leader.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See, when we launched this course, the premise was everyone is a leader.
No, if we do the deep dive regarding the born leadership concept now, apart from ecosystem and environment, there are certain things which I would say horoscopically is there.
Vineet is talking about horoscopes here.
So
Mithul, I suggest
scientific
you.
reason.
Mithul, offline.
I'm
discuss
just
with
kidding.
Deepak. Deepak is a master.
I just gone through certain articles on the internet regarding born leaders. So
Okay, so let me tell you what the recent research talks about, right? The researchers are divided. 50% agree that leadership is something, some traits are there when you are born, but 50% just do not agree with that. So it's an open field.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are experiments on the twins. That one twin is kept in a different family, and other twin in a different family, and they based on their upbringing, their qualities are totally different.
Yep.
Okay. So before we come to the closure, it's 5:30. Again, my humble request for once, if all of you can be on video together before you exit, please.
Yep.
We have seen only 15 people leaving. I would just like to click a couple of pictures, screenshots, that's it. So if all of you can be on video for 2 minutes, because I'll have to click photos 3 times. Okay. Yeah. Everyone, please.
Smile.
Lokesh. Yeah. Everyone, thank you very much. And then we'll be happy to take more questions. I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry. So I see most of you on video. So can you just do some gestures, please? Okay, thank you. One more. I'm going to the next screen now. Once more, please. Okay, and one last time because it's 3 screens. Thank you very much. Perfect. So now I respect everyone's time. Those who want to stay back for a few minutes can have a conversation with us. Those who feel they want to move on, perfectly. Thank you very much for attending.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for your
Those who want
time.
to leave?
Thanks, Vinit.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Deepak. Thanks, Vinit.
Thank you so much.